when you go to school and college and you do your history and you learn the curriculum that is taught to you, you are effectively learning what the establishment want you to know. And yet there is a hidden world that exists outside the standard curriculum, which is visible if you go off that beaten path and go off into some side roads and look at the hidden history that exists, not just within the biblical record, but within real history as well. Well, I think there's been a cover-up of sort of epic proportions, a sort of millennial distortion of the truth, because the truth was too troubling for the people who were peddling it to their people. And so the truth has never previously surfaced because it is still too troubling for many people, especially theologians, but also we see this in the academic world with Egyptologists and historians. We can begin to see this troublesome history in the accounts of the Exodus, because the Exodus is the pivotal event in Judaic history. This is the event that is central to the culture and history and mythology of the Israelite people. It's sort of essentially the event that created the Judaic peoples. Everything goes back to the Exodus and them being thrown out of Egypt.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
So what is the end game? Actually, pretty straightforward. It would look a lot like the GFC times 1,000. And I'm actually understating it in this $100 trillion derivative debt scheme.
If the default goes on for weeks and investors aren't paid, the economic downturn would be comparable to 2008, costing more than 7 million jobs and wiping out $10 trillion in household wealth. To avoid both scenarios, the House, Senate, and White House must agree to raise the debt ceiling before the June 1st deadline. Many experts call it
a game of chicken,
but a game where we all lose if they don't raise it before the clock runs out.
There is no safe harbor, no landfall. How can they be expected to save the children when they cannot save themselves?
The Space Force. Does that make sense? The Space Force, Jenna. You probably haven't even heard that. I'm just telling you now. This is perhaps because we're getting very big in space, both militarily and for other reasons. And we are seriously thinking of the Space Force. And you'll join the greatest force for peace and justice the world has ever known.
While administering the last rites to a dying rescue worker, he himself was killed by flying debris. New York's bravest physically carried Father Mike away. They brought his body first to the altar of St. Peter's Church, where it would be safe.
The dehumanization of human beings through commodification, using, misusing, and abusing human beings for purposes other than their own development as human beings, converts them into livestock, inventory. It is madness.